Greetings and welcome to the Stop Click. I'm your host, Raven El Duce Reyes. With me, as always, is Matt Jackson here. Ladies, he's single. And that's all I've got for that.
What are you doing?
Reading their cue cards.
No, there are no cue cards.
Oh, okay. Well, let's just do the show.
Yeah.
We are here in lovely Coppell, Texas. And today's topic, con exclusives.
Yes, con exclusive. It's that time again, folks. Get ready to start complaining about price gouging and
Worlds has just was it Worlds or what was the event? Origins.
I just remember seeing pictures of a huge line.
Yes, of everybody buying their brand new.
And everybody already complaining about the prices.
The price gouging. Well, obviously, there's always.
Let's go over what's released first.
Oh, sure. We have the squid brain ship from Brainiac.
Brainiac skull ship.
The Brainiac skull ship. It looks more like a squid to me. That's what it is. A skull though, but it's got squid arms. And then we have the Kree Supreme Intelligence,
which is awesome.
Then we have some of the smaller pieces. We have the Weird,
yes,
who has a very strange power that you have to maintain where he's pointing. Yes. And I feel like this might be kind of hard to do in some games. You're like, which way was he facing? Which way was he facing before you?
And then jerked it like.
All sorts of crazy things with that. You have the new Animal Man. Yes. You have I'm drawing a blank on the last
Felix Faust.
Felix Faust and Doctor Strange.
And Spider Pig.
And Spider Ham, sir.
Spider Ham.
Now, technically. My big problem with Spider-Ham is I really like the sculpt. It's a hilarious sculpt.
The dial sucks.
Well, no.
He's another Whiplash.
He's another Spider-Man. Like, he's a really good Spider-Man,
yes.
But there's nothing that really makes him, unique.
Collectability, bro.
Well, no, a neat sculpt is really all he is. Like, if you just change the sculpt out for a Spider-Man, the dial looks perfect.
But he's not Spider-Ham.
Yes, I know. Peter Porker. Yes.
Peter Porker, yeah.
Anyway, so...
We'll go over these pieces throughout the show. We'll also
now, I do notice very recently that there has been a surge of availability in Vampire Batman and Red Rain Wolverine.
Yes.
The Connier Store exclusives that were fairly scarce, and now we're starting to. I think there was some more. There's more of them. I finally got there more way because there used to be $100 price point on those things in the secondary market.
Dropping to
76. I've seen 65 so far, and I think they'll continue to drop as more of them hit the market. So we're finally getting that into mass circulation, which is good.
Yeah. Speaking of pricing, I guess that's the first thing we'll talk about is the inevitable price gouging of this.
Yeah.
One guy had a complete set. He didn't even have a complete set. He had the Skull Ship. The
Supreme Intelligence,
Faust, and Doctor Strange. You're selling for $300.
Yeah, he wanted $300 for his set.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Skull Ship and Kree are MSRP $50.
I think Skull Ship is actually a little more, but even then,
it's not $300.
No, we're not. I mean, there's probably 100% plus markup on it, and unfortunately, it is a supply and demand problem. The supply is incredibly limited to people who went to Origins. Those are the only people we know of so far that have in their hands. And I mean, on the one hand, I am kind of like, well, if they didn't sell it, nobody would have. I mean, they wouldn't be out there. I mean, somebody's always going to sell it. The more people that want to sell it and make money off of it, sort of the better, because it does bring the prices down.
Yes.
But until they start hitting more circulation, this is going to be the name of the game, and it happens. And obviously, as we've suggested in other videos, patience is the name of the game.
That's the best way to get. I mean. Like, look at the con exclusives of last year.
The Black Lantern Anti-Monitor. I picked one up for less than MSRP, and that blows my mind.
Yeah.
Zombie
Galactus?
Somebody physically bought this thing for $50.
Yes.
And I bought it for $45.
Exactly.
And I'm just like, that guy actually lost money that bought it there.
Yeah. Hulk and Red She-Hulk. Dropped in price.
Now right about $50. Now, I'm saying that I don't remember what they MSRP'd for, but right now, secondary market, they're holding it about $50. But comparative to when they first hit, not even close.
I remember when Superman Wonder Woman, people were actually telling me that they could not trade for it. Because I had it. I only got it to trade.
Yeah.
And nobody wanted to trade for it.
Yeah.
Because there was too much.
Yeah.
And now it's going for like 60.
Yeah, 60. Yeah. Well, and I'll be honest, a lot of that was the influx of those pieces from Connier Store, which was a really cool event we had one year. But that's kind of the nature of the game. Supply and demand is a force you cannot argue with. It doesn't feel pain. It can't be reasoned with.
Yes.
Okay, I'm just gonna say that right now. And it's invincible. It ignores all but one. It's the greed power.
Exactly.
Gluttony. Excuse me. Well, I was trying to make an illusion. I failed.
Okay. We understand.
Anyway, but you have this this is inevitable. It happens.
It happens all the time.
It happens all the time, and obviously, patience. The longer you can wait, the better your prices are going to
And
be.
the more you complain, the more nothing changes.
There you
Sorry,
go.
folks. I'm gonna have
You
to
can be
bring
as
this
angry
up.
as you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to bring this up and pick on you, some of you people, but like,
Internet rage.
it's just like there's no reason you can't. There's no complaining about it.
Yeah.
Like I've seen some people that like legitimately
Are like-
try to raise cases about it,
Yeah.
dude. And it's just like. Just you don't need it now.
Yeah, you don't need it
just-
now.
None of these things are ever going to be seen in tournaments. Like, maybe the Kree Supreme Challenge. It's
Yeah,
maybe.
and actually that is actually pretty cool. That seems to be like, I mean, remember when Shuma came out and they had colossals allowed in certain tournaments? You actually saw a lot of.
But
Shuma.
it's a resource too. Don't forget.
Yeah, it is a resource,
Yeah.
and but I'm saying since Shuma, I haven't really felt like there's a colossal that I felt like was going to get played in a
exactly.
tournament. But the Supreme Intelligence is really, really, really good, and he might actually see some.
Yeah,
tournament play.
exactly. You're never going to see him in tournaments. It's not like you'll never. Like all of you that want one will eventually get one. I
Yeah,
guarantee
it'll happen. And the thing is, something to remember is, like, I know this is a wonderful world we live in, but it's very unreasonable to expect someone to act in an altruistic manner,
Yes.
given that
And
they
I'll
were.
define that word for those
Yeah,
of
yeah,
us,
an altruistic.
aka me.
Yes,
That doesn't know what that means.
Yes, okay. Well, they're not doing it for the sake of being a nice guy.
Yeah,
like,
no.
oh, I was at Origins and I decided to wait
Yeah,
in
who wants
line
it?
for 3 hours to get this to sell back to you guys for no markup whatsoever.
Yeah,
You're
I'll
not
even-
going to find that guy.
And they'll even pay for shipping.
Yeah, they'll even pay for shipping because they're super nice. That's just the way that
Then
that guy doesn't
They'll
exist.
get on their white horse and ride off
Right,
into the
that's-
sunset in their night armor.
Yeah, there you go.
No, won't happen, guys. Sorry.
Won't happen.
Markup. All you got to do,
It-
once again, we've said this, I don't know, 3 times already, be patient.
Be patient. It'll
Let-
happen.
I want Spider Ham so bad, but I'm going to trade for it eventually because luckily he does not have a good dial.
Yeah, well, there you go.
And
And I'll be honest. Some of the I feel like this year's con exclusives are not. They're playable, but I don't feel like they're just amazing powerhouses.
I
They're
honestly really, really like Felix Faust. I probably would kind of bet on him seeing him.
he's good for the points, but the element of a random dial D20 thing, once again,
But
unpredictability
Yeah.
can be bad.
But his D20 isn't really that bad. He's got
His base stats are amazing compared. Yeah,
and his
fantastic.
4 special powers on the D20. You know what those are?
I'll be honest. I've read them like 3 or 4 times, and I remember them being super awesome.
They can only do a move action for
Yeah.
movement. They can only do a close combat attack for attack. They can do range attack. They can only do this or that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It's very limiting, but you're also looking at a 1 in 20 chance of hitting that. Or
Yeah, but
technically the NE is 25%.
yeah, but all of his stuff is still pretty good.
No, his base stats are very reasonable, and I feel like at the very least, as with all of them, it's going to be super fun to play.
We need to get a hold of
Faust and Doctor Strange.
and just play them against each
And
other.
see who can come out the victor. But the thing is, don't they both have mystics this time around? Because oh, I hit you. You're like, oh well, that hurt too. Like, oh well,
Yeah, something like that.
This will be a very short match.
But another thing that I like is the weird.
The weird,
That dude-
only for its absurdness.
Yes. Thank you, Biscuits, for releasing that figure. Man, that is such an awesome figure, right? He can only.
There's no way that thing could be meta. It's way too.
Yeah, I know.
Like
But
I
it's
can
awesome.
just imagine the judge call that would happen. Judge, we don't remember which way the weird was facing. There's no way to correct it. There's
Yes,
no
because
possible way.
The only way you can move him is by moving him in the direction he's pointing.
Yeah, or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
And then when he gets there, you can shift him around. a certain-
Yeah.
let's
And
get-
he only gets super senses if he's facing somebody he's pointing.
and there's nobody behind him.
Yeah,
like,
something like
there's
that.
all
It's
sorts
so
of very.
wacky and awesome.
They're so.
I want a melee with him and Possible
Yeah,
Man
yeah.
and like all these awesome people. Just
There's a lot of fun pieces, and
Yes.
I'll be honest. I like the shift of getting away from the incredible meta pieces that we've seen over the years. Don't get me wrong. I'm not bashing on them. I personally played a Batmine at this last ROC we had here, and that's a couple of years old, and I still really like it. I mean, it was a huge meta piece at the time it was printed, and then it kind of fell out of favor. But that
did.
kind of brings us to our next point: is he didn't rotate, and everybody. I had a couple of people go,
good segue.
hey, look, there's some problems because con LEs thus far have never followed a rotation schedule.
Yes.
They have not said, they always say, past this set DC, past this set Marvel, you're out.
Okay, we kind of maybe this is just me.
Yeah.
God knows I am capable to error. I'm sorry to ruin everybody's perfect image of me, but for the life of me, I cannot find the rotation list
Really?
I can't. I've been on the website. I've Googled it.
I'll be honest, it is a little bit.
Like-
I can't even remember where I found it. I thought
Yeah,
I may have just found it on the Realms and been like, "That's what it is."
Yeah.
Like never actually
I
taking
could've
an official
sworn
source.
It was on the official WizKids
Site somewhere,
Yeah,
somewhere.
at some point. But I, for the life of me, cannot find. I thought I saw it once.
Yeah, you're like, "That's
And
it."
That's it.
That's it.
I've never found it. So if you guys
just take
know,
it from word of mouth
Yeah,
wherever.
yeah, exactly.
So if y'all know what sets have rotated, printed on an official
and let
WizKids,
us know.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know where to
Comments
find
and-
that particular
Yes,
document
please.
at. It'd be
Yes.
great. But so past that, but you obviously there was some confusion because usually it's once something has been around for Worlds for 2 years,
Yes.
and that was almost the rule of thumb for a great deal. But then they were like, well, this set's rotating early, and they've also done some other sets that have rotated kind of late for
Yes.
that. Well, this has been for 3 years around Worlds, and so this has been this sort of, well, what is the official thing? And they don't. They're purposefully not specific. They're just like, about here. Like, there's some guy, Joe. We'll call him Joe that works at WizKids. Is like, here, this set forward. Does that sound good? Does that sound good to everybody? And they all high five, and then they're done for lunch. They go to lunch.
Yeah.
They go to Carrabba's, which, by the way, is delicious.
Yes.
You have trees on the roof.
They do.
Trees on
The roof. It's amazing. So that's the guy. That's how they decide. And then obviously there was some confusion because you have a piece from 2011 that's still playable because it's a Con Elite. Now, granted, nobody played any of the 2011 Con exclusives.
I don't know why they did
Well,
that.
Wonder Woman. It was Wonder Woman and Martian Manhunter, and there was a few other ones, but nobody plays those. Nobody actually wants to go out of their way to play those in a tournament. I've never seen. I don't think they ever saw tournament play. But you have this kind of, well, if they're still playable, what is the rule? What is the magic number? And the thing is, so thus far they have not rotated any Con exclusives.
No.
So
Now,
the real
do you
question
think
is,
that's a good or a bad thing?
well, on the one hand, I do think that it might stagnate the meta, but I would say that in hopes that they don't actually print a piece that all of a sudden becomes the thing that they have to do and they don't watch this and it's just played forever and ever. But part of me goes, no, that's not really the why they watch listed Batmite. They made him a little worse, not incredibly worse, but that was enough to not have him see really any play.
Yeah.
So. But it is a little confusing. I will give it that. People see a piece that they know has been around forever
Yes.
and go, is that still legal? Really? And so I can understand that being confusing might be kind of detrimental for the long-term effects of the game. Going forward, we'll see how it pans out. Overall,
Yeah,
it's
well-
probably a bad thing, unfortunately.
Yeah, and I don't know if this is like luck or
Mm.
they actually put the thought into this. But another point you made is that virtually none of the con exclusives are meta.
Yeah, virtually. I mean, there's a very small segment.
You'll never outside of and, like you were the only person playing Batmite.
Yes, I was. I kind of dark horse the
Yeah,
piece.
exactly.
And
And
a few
I mean,
people
granted-
actually went, "Is that Batmite? Oh, what does that do again?" Like, it
And
had
that
been
took
so
you to-
long.
That took you to the top 4, dude.
It did.
out of 30
It
yeah.
did take me to top 4.
I mean, granted, but outside of that, dude, like I think, luckily, like I said, either by luck or by choice, I don't know, but I think that's what's keeping the con exclusives from rotation is the fact that WizKids is back there saying, okay, listen, this is our chance to be goofy, this is our chance to be fun, try out
Yeah.
things that people. It almost reminds you of the Magic sets, unglued and unhinged.
Especially with the weird, I
Yes.
actually fully understand that is the most apt comparison.
Yeah, and for example, and for those of you who don't know what Magic is.
You've been living under a rock in a cave.
Why? Of those of you who are not familiar with the set, Unhinged and Unglued are novelty sets.
Yes.
They come with silver borders, which means they can't be played in any format whatsoever.
They were just fun cards.
They were just fun cards, but they were some of the like I have one that costs 1,000,000 mana.
Yeah.
And you control all targets for all spells and abilities.
Yeah. So there was cards like that really their effects
Yeah,
are
1,000,000
just
mana. Yeah.
like you wouldn't even put it in a deck because it's so hard to get to 1,000,000 mana in any other normal circumstance.
Yeah, and so
Yeah.
I think WizKids, I'm sorry, is doing that with these con exclusives.
Yeah.
It's just their chance of just making it fun.
Yeah, and I'll be honest. I think also there's a chance to show off their amazing sculpts, and I think especially with D&D miniatures becoming more of a property for the WizKids franchise,
Yes.
they have upped their. I think that's actually part of the driving force for the recent increase in quality
Yes, I
of
believe so
pieces.
too.
Is that they finally realized that listen, we are a miniatures company. We are producing high quality, nicely painted miniatures, and if you look at some of the stuff they
It's like
produce-
Gygax came in there and he's like, You guys disgust me.
Yeah, you guys are just doing everything.
Yeah.
But like the Brainiac Skullship is one of those things. I looked at it, I'm like, that's a really cool sculpt.
Yes.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not crazy about Brainiac as a villain.
No.
I think that piece is super cool looking. Though.
Yes. Yeah, dude.
And the original, Shuma with the opposable eye and everything. That was. He was a little too meta. I'll be honest. I actually did play him at one little tournament.
The only way I actually beat that team was Highfather before he got.
Before he got around. Yeah.
So I would just take out Shuma's supporting piece. I'm like,
all right, I'm not attacking Shuma for the rest of the game.
Yep.
Go to time. He said this in friendly games.
Yeah,
so
we were playing casual and I was going to time.
He's
That's
like,
how much I hated
I'm
Shuma.
just gonna walk off. You can sit here all you want. I was like, I can't call a judge for slow play. That doesn't exist. But
I am the judge.
you are the judge today.
I am the
Le judge. In
But,
fact, for the French.
Closing thoughts. Random question. What do you want to see as a convention on their next convention?
Yeah, the
exclusives?
next round of
What do
crazy.
you- what do you?
Well, I have had a pretty the Captain America Sentinel was a Con Your Storm thing. I thought that was amazing, and Spider-Man and Amazing Friends team base. Literally, all I wanted was a Miss Lion. Like, I really did not care. I just wanted a little dog so I can start trying to work on the Pet Avengers.
Yeah.
Which is, by the way, a very hard to find keyword. I want more Pet Avengers. That's what I want to see is Con exclusives. More Pet Avengers.
More Pet Avengers.
I want a full set of Pet Avengers.
All right, an ATA for Pet Avengers.
There we go.
Yeah, throw that in
There we go. Anyway.
I honestly want to see a really just. It could be anything. Oh, you know what? We'll be more specific. A Secret Wars Battlefield Condition piece,
That'd be kind of neat.
like Planet Hulk, the one.
Yeah.
I want a Secret Wars one.
They don't really
anything-
do Battlefield conditions
Or
anymore. Yeah.
anything Secret Wars related. There's nothing outside
Yeah.
like first appearances.
Yeah.
But like I want a Secret Wars like
Something
You
that
want Beyonder with his really loose throw.
No, they have that there.
they
have that there.
have a Beyonder, but you really don't feel like it's part
I
of that.
want
Yeah,
like
you want
a-
a full world conditional.
yeah, that would be
setting.
sweet. That's what I want. Granted, they stopped doing Battlefield conditions and everything like that. But Wizards or WizKids, sorry if you're out there, if you're truly out there, like right next to Santa Claus and Easter Bunny,
Yeah, the Easter Bunny.
yeah, and all the other people we actually hope on, print Secret War stuff. That'd be pretty cool. And that leads us to our question of the day. What do you want to see as far as convention exclusives? What do you
What do you hope?
like? Yeah, what do you want? What do you appreciate this one? I'm on this one. I'm looking more forward to Spider Ham. Kree Supreme Intelligence too.
Yeah.
Sorry we didn't get to that one, but basically he's a resource and an awesome character. He's got 15 range. He
Yeah.
can ping anyone on the map for 3 lock damage. He has pulse wave. He's broken.
Very
piece.
good piece.
Him and Spider Ham are what I'm going to try and chase after
There you
3
go.
sets. But other than that,
Yeah.
we're good.
We're good for a while.
Yeah.
And be patient.
Yes.
Thank you for watching the Stop Click. Y'all have a great day.